all, welcome to the Player of the Month Squad Routes video, focusing on all the nominees because I genuinely am struggling on an actual standout candidate, because guys like Vertonghen actually look very impressive for a return, while Son and Benteke are very impressive too. So hopefully you find this useful. Let me know in the comments down below who you fancy for Player of the Month. It's going to be an interesting route all told, so plenty to cover in this for each individual player, so hope you find this useful, and I will be covering, obviously explaining why some of the routes can be applicable for other players as well. So Premier League for the first kick-off. At the moment I've not put in any of the informs from the Premier League, mainly because I don't have any high risk investments anymore in the club. Everyone in the club now is just practically for League SBCs. But 11 from the Premier League, you're going to need one special player, whether it be an inform, man of the match, something like that, kind of maybe, or even a green card or birthday possibly. Then for nations you'd have like 5, obviously it's rare players, it could be like 9. Every player in the team is going to be rare no matter what. 84 rating overall, I'd highly imagine that would be your Premier League route. 40 to 80k, because I highly imagine that you'd have most of these players already, and while it is expensive enough already, it might bump up a little bit more due to the 84 Team of the Week SBCs. In terms of how likely it is, 7 out of 10, because it always focuses on Premier League. This is where you might have a respective team that the winner is, and then focusing on the teams played in that month as well. Then for Tottenham, if you were to get say Vertonghen or Son, you'd have 11 from the Premier League, 1 special player, so it could be like a one to watch or a green card I've shown in this example. You could also look at any of the informed, it's not a problem. 3 Spurs, 5 nations, 84 overall rating, 40 to 80k for cost. It's not too earth shattering, because it depends how they kind of implement the route. Then 8 to 12k, and then 6 out of 10 for likelihood. This would be kind of an interesting way they could go for it. This Spurs option might also only be a partial squad builder as well, depending on who gets the Player of the Month from Spurs, if it's Vertonghen or Son. Then Manchester United, if it's Eric Bailly, is looking at probably 2 Manchester United players, kind of 1 special player. Quite a few nations, maybe like 5. 84 rating overall, 40 to 80k for cost, 8 to 12k reward, and a 6 out of 10 for likelihood. 2 Man United players, if I could, would be Bailly and Mkhitaryan, mainly because they seem to be the best rated for your options, but also the cheapest for what you can get. So I would say personally that is quite a smart way to go. But obviously Bailly is probably maybe the least likely option, mainly because of the draws in Manchester United's favour that would go against Manchester United. But it's also quite an easy route to kind of put together, like all the others. Then Chelsea, if it's Eden Hazard, is 11 Premier League. From there you've got 2 Chelsea players minimum, I'd imagine. The kind of emphasis is really going to be if the team's going to be featured in some capacity, they'll probably look at say 2 or 3 of the one team, and they might look at the teams that faced in the month as well, so like 1 and 1 and all that kind of routine. So that's kind of why it could be like 83, 84 rated. Then your costs aren't too expensive, 40 to 80k. The Chelsea players aren't too bad really, like Aspie, Begovic. If they were the 2 you needed, like say 2 you already need, they're not exactly earth shattering prices, and the rest of the route is not too bad either, in all honesty. Then Manchester City, for their particular option of Sergio Aguero, you probably need 2 or 3 Man City players. What's kind of handy is, like if Man City were to get, or depending on what they were to do, like David Silva, Gundogan are untradeable for me, and like Nolito and Navas I can easily throw in as well. Like 4 players from one team would probably be your ultimate maximum. Like for me, I would say you've got to kind of think how they will put the formation together, because they will try and look at the team's formation, they'll also try and look at the players in the respective team. If you've got like the main players, as it were, on loyalty already, you're kind of sorted. That's the way you're going to be your saving grace, if you can play players out of position. Then from Crystal Palace perspective, you've got a handy emphasis on like Remy and Benteke. That's kind of like your highest rated options to work with. Zaha is the other option. But the biggest problem with like Crystal Palace is, if Benteke was to win it, would people want the card? Well, it would be very overpowered as it is, but still, the 40 to 80k for cost, it might actually go through the roof with someone like Benteke, mainly because the Palace players could probably cost an arm and a leg. They'd maybe cost you like 10k, especially if it's an 84 rated route, because Remy, Zaha, Benteke are like the 3 highest rated players, and then you've got Mandanda as well, but not a lot of people tend to use his particular card, so it makes for tough viewing. Career, when it comes to Heung-min Son, best kind of investment really has been the gold. A lot of people have been buying up the gold rated players. Like I've still missed quite a few players out for higher rated, but what I've tried to do is think a bit outside the box for this. Like I've got a 75 rated squad. I've put it to 72 because it was 70 the last time, but it'll be 72 I'd imagine this time. If they can't do an inform or special cards because there's only one in the form of Heung-min Son, and even then I would highly imagine they'll kind of mix up the route that they did previously. So if they were to do Korea, it'd probably be 11 players from Korea, 3 leagues, 3 rares at least, with his 72 overall rating. Your best kind of option is your back 4 really on that. Then a special team, this would kind of apply to any of the players in all honesty. What you would do is probably, like, they always seem to like doing these kind of silly routes where you just have to submit 11 special cards, and this could be like 3 leagues that they might want to try and emphasise, 5 nations. Don't ignore the chem, I've just put 100. They might even go that kind of extreme and ask you to put like 100 chem in, but obviously that would just kind of make every special card like expensive. So ignore the chem aspect. 84 rating is maybe your minimum. Like I'm putting it 83 just now, but I have a slight feeling that they could go 84, and it partly falls into why we have the 84 team of the week. Like if people have been doing them in their droves, people could have like 11 team of the week players in their club, and all you need to do is kind of give them all up suddenly for a untradeable team of the month, player of the month card. So keep that option in mind. Then an alternative special option, if they were to look at the EPL, is so many special cards. Like they might even ask you to give up depending on who gets player of the month, whether it be like Aguero, Hazard, Heung-min Son, they might ask you to give up a player of the month card, for example. So like for me, depending who, if it was Son that gets it, I'd imagine give up player of the month Son, but you could give up player of the month Ali, player of the month Kane, depending if there's a particular player of the month card that you don't like and you kind of want a change, then that player of the month card could give up. But like could be bronze. Like you could. This is an 84 rated squad, and I've got away with bronze informs, like a bronze inform that kind of says it all. But it's hard to say what we're going to do with this. For Son's journey is focusing on. Like, I've not put a Bayer Leverkusen player in this just now, but this particular route can easily get that. In all honesty, the feeling would be at least one special card. Could be Bundesliga inform, could be an EPL inform. I'd imagine it'll be just 2 leagues exactly, because for Son, he's spent most of his career between Germany and the Premier League. So people have been investing in Aaron Hunt, the right mid at Hamburg. He's been kind of the card that a lot of people are buying, mainly because they think that card could prove quite useful for playing up, and in all honesty I kind of see the logic as well, but also because people have been doing that, it could be counterproductive, so keep that. Ericsson, he's been at Ajax, and this route also falls into favour with Vertonghen, because he went from Ajax to Tottenham, and his team in between was Wolfswijk, who are in the second tier, so you can't really have any players from there. So with Ericsson and Vertonghen, you'd have like one special card, could be an EPL or a Eredivisie player, then 2 leagues, 5, like 2 Spurs, 2 Ajax. It wouldn't be too difficult really to get this kind of working. 100 chem, this team can easily get 100 chem. I've just got to do a bit of tweaking, and you can logically put depending on who you want to put in, you can get any of the routes to 100k, but obviously high enough overall is kind of the killer. So if by, I would imagine they would go Espanyol, Villarreal and then Manchester United for this. Obviously with the journey kind of aspects, it's easy enough that they could look at the teams that they were playing in the month. But with by, for this, Espanyol, smart option could be looking at Pablo Piatti's inform if you've got him, or could go for him. You could also look at the Diego Lopez, the goalkeeper for Espanyol. He's 84 rated and wouldn't be too much, in all honesty, if like say Bailly was to happen. But obviously in reality, Eric Bailly for me is the least likely of all the player of the month candidates. But still, one player from both teams, one player from Manchester United, maybe even two. But you've got to kind of give yourself enough room to compensate for the overall and obviously the requirements that would be set out. So it's kind of getting it right, in all honesty. Hazard's journey, it's like Lille and Chelsea would kind of be the most logical way that they put this together. And obviously with Hazard, they could focus on obviously what's happened for April. But for Hazard, you'd probably have like 2 Chelsea, 1 Lille. The smart option for like Lille would be Enyema if it was an inform, and then that would give you an extra inform. The wise option would be then EPL inform. I've just put Alone Defoe in, for example, as an option. 2 Chelsea players. I hope to God you wouldn't have to give up a Hazard in general. Maybe it would be so bad if it was like, depending on how they put it together, it would be kind of crazy if it was like play the month Hazard and it's like who actually did play the month Hazard. It would kind of be insane giving up a player of the month Hazard for a second player of the month Hazard. But it'd be quite an expensive route, like 150, 200k. But obviously we've still got to kind of contemplate this possibility of happening. Aguero, with him, he's had Atletico Madrid and Independiente. So the smart option is just go the left side. You could easily get this to 100k. It just, like for me, Williams just needs the extra, I think 1 loyalty, and from there it's kind of like you'd swap Vardy for another striker that kind of just gives you enough chemistry for Gundogan and obviously Gaetan. So in reality, Aguero would get you 100k. So from there, if Aguero was to happen, he has a very good shout, by the way, as an outside candidate. 84 overall rated squad, 2 Man City players, 1 from Atletico, 1 from Independiente, 150, 200k squad, 10-15k reward. It would be like a rare mega pack, like the 55k ones. They'd kind of probably want to make it worthwhile your hassle of actually doing the SBC for this. And then Benteke, if he was to get player of the month, I think they would go a Pro League route, because he's had so many teams in the Pro League, and obviously like Aston Villa and Liverpool are who he's played for in England, on top of Crystal Palace. It's kind of hard in terms of how they could properly pin it down. But 2 special cards, they might even actually give up an informed Benteke as part of this, or that could be for when it's his own individual route. Then 2 leagues, 2 Crystal Palace, 2 Pro League, 100k, 84 overall rating is a lowest, probably the highest you'd probably have to go to. Depending on how they put it together as well, if you've only got like 2 Pro League to put all together, you might end up with like informed Tielemans and then like someone else at like left mid, and then end up with like, say like Najar, like man of the match Najar at left back, and end up with enough overall to work with to give you the 84 rated squad. So there's plenty of ways they could kind of manipulate this to make it work for them. Obviously nations as well, like Belgium, could apply for Benteke as well. But in all honesty, it's going to be really tough for who's going to get player of the month. I think Son, Benteke or Vertonghen are the 3 strongest shouts. But for me, I'm not overly fussed who gets player of the month. I'm going to pass on it. It's still going to be fun though for what happens. Hope you find this useful as always. Let me know in the comments down below who you think will get player of the month. Especially like, sub to chat for now, and I will catch you all later.